Sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
What are we on, Ange?
Huh?
What are we on?
Huh? 23.
Uh,
Episode 23. That's what we're on. Right?
And some coffees.
No. Skip the coffee. We are just pumped up. But by episode 23, coffee is just a side thing.
It's
right?
a side note. It's a side note. Yeah, that's why I had a tea. Welcome back to the Inner Power Podcast, season
episode
1.
23.
I can't.
Season 2. What?
One? Did I say season 2?
Did you? No. You
Comment
didn't.
below. What did I say?
Mm.
Hello, Andrea.
Hi,
Welcome
Andrea.
back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Lovely to have you here.
Yeah. Well,
so
we are. I think we're just kind of. I'm working on fumes at the moment, but I'm all good.
you're working on fumes.
Yeah.
The coffee
The
fumes.
coffee fumes. Well, I've got tea, so
Oh, you've got
I
tea.
love a
Okay.
good tea. I love a good tea. So today we are talking about, is competition good or bad? I'm really distracted today because I'm not going to say it's just the window opposite. Someone's dancing and just pointed it out to me.
Well, I am. Oh, hold on. He's there.
Not he, no.
Oh, well, put it this way: there is someone having a bathroom window
He's gonna think
facing
you're all right.
us, and
Yeah.
it's the what do you call this kind of glass? Where it's kind
It's
of
frosted.
frosted.
It is definitely
but
frosted.
It still
You've
leaves
made-
a lot of space
and
for
everyone
my
thinks we're weird already.
imagination.
People are talking about us, you know that, right? They're
That's
going to
fine.
talk about us even more now.
Well, look, it just shows, I'm a
Mm.
human being. I can't
Mm.
be stimulated by, external factors.
Shut up. Right. Oh my God. Andrea, you have no idea. Anyway, we are talking about, is competition good or bad? I think me and Andrea are having a competition right now. Who can be the weirdest? So yeah, is competition good or bad? We was looking for something earlier, right? Because I lost my notes, didn't I? For the show.
Only notes?
I lost the notes for the show. Oh, I never had a mind to lose in the first place. Yeah, you can only imagine. Thank God there's a toothpaste thing in the window. That's what I'm saying, Andrea, really, because really got sidetracked. We're going to lose viewers on this or gain. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. Either
So
way,
notes,
okay.
what about the notes?
I lost these, and then you said you were going to send them over. So then we had this little race to get them.
Oh, yes. Oh, that was so funny. It was so funny.
I found them at the same time.
Well, okay, so let's
it's a draw.
express the whole situation would look like. You lost your notes.
Yeah.
And then I said to you, shall I send you the notes? And you said, okay. And then you said, no, I'm going to copy them somewhere else.
Yeah, because I sat waiting and waiting and waiting. You couldn't find them. And I got impatient. Yeah, Harry's come out of me. I thought,
and then you said, okay,
I
I'm
could
doing
get
it
these in 2
now. So
seconds.
it's okay, me too.
I just kind of wanted you to, enjoy the and then
Competition.
and then I found it. So, but Ange beat me to the race, even though it was a draw.
Well, it was a draw, to be fair. And the funny thing was we actually copied the same notes.
Ooh.
That was cool. But competition.
Competition.
There
So
is positives and negatives to it. So that was obviously a positive thing because we both were laughing at it.
yeah, I think that's like there's healthy competition, right? And then I think there can be unhealthy competition. Would you say?
Very.
I'll put this up in a minute. Thank you,
Okay.
Andrea. So I think we have competition with ourselves anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like really, who's the biggest person we're competing against?
Oh, you yourself.
Yourself.
100%.
Well, that's that then. We can go home now. I'm just going to pull up some notes. What's Andrea puts? It's quite useful. Okay. So thank you, Andrea Fitzgerald. So competition, like many things, depends on what situation, attitude. As such, it's not a problem but of peer pressure helps focus and intent too much, and it can crush and demoralize. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Wouldn't you?
Mm.
It can be like quite demoralizing sometimes, but I think also there's some, as we said it, and we'll talk about, there's some pros and cons to it.
And there is a fine line between those two. Sometimes people get to competitions just purely for fun of it.
Yeah,
And the moment when things are getting more serious, the actually situation changes, and the competition can be actually quite destructive.
Yeah.
And I personally find that from how I see competition now is about competing with yourself.
Yeah.
And when you are surrounded by other people who are in competition with you, they are helping you to get the best out of you,
Yeah.
right? So you're getting the best out of you, but you don't, you are not so attached to the outcome, the end result. You are actually happy that you did your best and the best came out of you. Okay.
Yeah.
And that competition just allowed you, to reach the higher levels of yourself, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's a different situation, different bargain when you're stepping into competition, and you can see yourself as a winner only if you get position number 1.
Yeah.
Right? Because people they are not happy with position 2.
No.
Actually, they are less happy with position 2 than position 3. But that's another subject, another topic. So it's like, if you are going there just for fun and for getting the best out of you, the best version of you, and you obviously you want to win, but if you don't, you're still winner in your mind.
Yeah.
Then it's all good. But if you're not getting that position you were aiming for, and you're feeling bad about yourself and about everybody else, then there's something wrong.
Yeah, I agree. I think whether obviously you've done a lot of competing in various things, right?
I did. Yeah, 5 different sports.
Yeah, but that's cool.
Yeah.
So was it? How did you? So what was your? How was that healthy, and how was that maybe not so good? What were the pros and cons from that side of things? Because we're going to talk about probably different types of competition, but I think that's probably maybe the first one people bring to mind.
So to be fair, I've experienced both.
Yeah.
Experienced both, especially in my teens.
Yeah.
I was depending my worth on the outcome. So if I didn't perform, if I didn't have anything to show, therefore I wasn't worthy.
Yeah.
So my sense of self-worth was really attached to the outcome, right?
Yeah.
I had to win to feel that I matter.
Yeah.
Okay. And I suppose, all the years, just of self-development, and even the fact that I am coaching now is started from experiencing those things that I had to heal in myself.
Yeah.
And also the attachment to the outcome, right? The personal attachment to the outcome. Last 3 competitions, I would say, type of competitions that I've experienced, it was purely for fun.
Yeah.
So I already knew, let's be honest, I've won many times, but 100 times more I didn't win, right?
That's how it works, right?
Yes. And I've learned much more from not winning than winning.
Yeah.
Especially about myself. In the last few competitions, like I said, I went there just for fun. I was stepping out of my comfort zone. I was doing something different, something I wasn't that familiar with. And I already had this mindset that everybody who is stepping on stage, they are already winners because they went through the preparation, the training, which isn't easy. So everybody who is stepping, on that stage, regardless the position they are taking or gonna take or have taken, they're supposed to be winners to themselves. And for me, it was exactly that. So, did I win? Hell no. I wasn't even the first top. First 10.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like, bloody hell, I did something different.
Yeah.
I stepped out of my comfort zone. That's why I was feeling like, the competition was great stimulant for me.
Yeah.
But it wasn't determined in any way in my value.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's something what changed over the years.
Yeah.
Whereas at first, competition was something just to show how good I am, because, if I didn't, achieve anything, then, like I said earlier, I wasn't worthy of someone's attention, love, whatever, right? And over the years, fast forward till my last competitions, and now it's like competition as a competition is just fun for me.
Yeah.
I love competing because I just love this element of unknown.
Yeah.
The challenge.
Yeah.
I do like it.
Yeah.
But the result doesn't matter.
Yeah. But in your head, but then you get a result anyway, don't you?
You do, because the thing, like I said, and you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Competition is not about competing against anyone else but yourself.
Yeah.
And I am not competing the moment I'm stepping on stage or in the ring or wherever. Competition is when I am actually making myself to prepare myself for the competition that I signed up for.
Yeah.
Okay. Waking up in the morning, prepping my, just eating right, training my body, choosing the positive thoughts over negative thoughts. This is the type of competition I'm in every single day.
So that's actually self-defense against yourself, isn't it?
I wouldn't say self-defense.
Yeah, it is.
I wouldn't say self-defense.
Well, because if you wake up in the morning,
Yeah.
like we're already competing or we're having to defend against negative thoughts.
It's a choice.
It's always a choice, right?
Yeah,
It's always a choice, but we have limiting beliefs.
we do.
So
but the thing
that's
is to
basically what
see-
I'm getting at. So it's the same thing.
All
That's
right,
fine.
I like this going in the
Yeah.
conversation. So let's say I'll tell you
Find it
this.
out.
I'll tell you this as well, okay?
Mhm.
Because you might say just self-defense. Okay, I understand. I absolutely understand your point of
Yeah.
view. But then I'm thinking this is another angle of the situation. You wake up in the morning and you deliberately choose the good thoughts, right? And I don't know, you might be grateful for another day, whatever, right? You're already flowing with those thoughts, which means those negative thoughts, which you normally would fight
Mhm.
against, are not there
Mhm.
because you're flowing with something different, right? And yeah, this is where the competition starts. But like,
Mm.
oh gosh, it's just like more multidimensional than what you just see right at the end. When
Yeah.
you're actually stepping on the stage and you're actually testing yourself amongst others.
Mhm.
Is how you're testing yourself, with yourself.
Well, that's an important point there. So this is in the Man of Steel. You seen the Man of Steel?
Mm-hmm.
The Superman and his dad says, keep testing yourself, keep pushing your limit. This kind of working that competition with ourselves, keep pushing those limits that you said there, stepping out that comfort zone. And I think understanding that, we talked about this earlier. Let's say someone gets started in whether it be a dance class or something that's new. Well, you won the first competition by making that choice. The second one is when you got in contact with doing what you were going to do. Second was that third, is when you actually turned up and did that first session or that first whatever it could be, going for the job interview, whatever, or asking the guy in the window what you up to. But and what I mean is we have this little we are having competition with us. Well, we're competing against ourselves, and it's as in, well, all I got to do is maybe something better today than what I did yesterday. And I might have a day where, I can't really. Today's just one of them days. But tomorrow's a new day, so
of course
compete again. So I think it's I think there's pros and cons to it. But again, if having working some of my training and being around like former world champions, that attitude rubbed off onto me. And I thought that, and I think that was really healthy. But in my growing up stages of maybe not being, or whether I was or not, just not great at things or failed at stuff, I feel that has benefited me. I used to find it quite tough, but it's benefited me so much now.
Oh, 100%.
So
you're trying to say that you were taking things very personally then?
Yeah, I think say an old school report, and
I did.
Yeah, no, if I had a school report, then we take the one line, and I think, that's really bad. And it wasn't until more into mindset-y stuff I was doing in adult life that I looked at it, looked at them again, and thought, well, actually, these reports aren't that bad. It's only like that one line, but I honed in on this bit. But so it wasn't great at the time, but also I'm glad I did, because it kind of hardened me up to, well, something don't quite work out the way I want it to. It's still, but it doesn't defeat me to the extent, I can't do that, I'm going to give up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, cool.
I think sometimes when you're experiencing challenges, competition as such, right? It makes you appreciate more what you're going for when you achieve it.
Yeah.
Right? So it might be, you might be goal oriented, maybe let's say competition is about, like you said, getting the school reports.
Yeah.
Working for it will make you feel like, I did that. That's brilliant. It makes you feel good about yourself, for just achieving what you said you would.
Yeah.
Right? Regardless the end result.
Yeah.
Right? When you're trying and you're seeing positive outcome, then this is something what makes you feel appreciate.
Yeah, definitely.
What you're doing, So let's see what we have. We have some lots of comments and lovely comments today.
Yeah, thank you for the engagement. This is what we love.
Andrea says, I see it is a positive getting up and trying your best. That's like a shield for negative thoughts, unless it slips into obsessive behavior. 100%.
And that's a good point. Actually, just getting up. I think I talked about this somewhere else the other day, but movement is so important.
Yeah.
And if I've been through mental health stuff, so it's rare where I've felt absolutely limited. And obviously, that wasn't a good time. It's like I was losing that competition a little bit at life, but I kind of got through. Obviously, I got through because I'm here. I got through because I'm here. But movement is important. So, that's part of the competition.
Well, there was so many things about movement. What we commonly know is that obviously fitness helps you, with your mental health, helps you to shake off the negativity, etc., etc. But why is it? It's because the body movement allows you to change the chemistry in your mind or in your body that impacts the way you think and feel, right? So for even the simple example, you've probably heard about body language, right?
What's that?
Body language is, how basically your body tells the story about how you feel, right?
Yes.
Right? But did you know that you can actually use your body and your body posture to change the thought pattern?
Yeah.
Because your mind also reads your body responses?
Yep.
Have you heard about power postures?
Maybe not that term, but I think I know what you're going to get to. So yeah.
For example, when you want to feel more confident about something, right, doing anything, obviously first reaction to a situation that makes you feel not so sure about yourself is you actually round your shoulders and you close so you protect yourself, right? And your body communicates with your brain, and the message is, we're not safe here, right? But knowing that, what you can do, you can actually sit straight, open your chest, and for example, put your hands on your hips like this. This is the Superwoman position, like Superman position, and stay in that position for 2 minutes, and see what happens. The thoughts you're gonna have will be completely different to those which you had 2 minutes ago, only because your body posture changed.
You know why? Because motion leads to emotion.
Sure.
Yeah. So this is similar to, I think Tony Robbins did some stuff like this, right?
Yes, he did.
And I think what it is, so it's being aware of your body posture. It's almost like, so let's say you think, oh, we're so down, everything's down. And if you was to pull out a pad and write down where every part of your body's positioned, it's almost like a recipe. So it's a recipe for disaster, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be aware of that. And then do what you said. Okay, you write it down. I put my back up here, or I lift my shoulders back, hands on hip, whatever. How you stand. If you stood up, where your feet placed, because you can stand. We know from martial arts, right? We can stand, and we can stand, confidently, and you can have quite a good conversation with someone.
Yeah.
So have that recipe, and the thing with recipes is, if you're making a cake, if you miss out an ingredient, it will mess up your cake. So there we go.
Andrea says, next podcast, more power postures. Definitely.
Yeah, well, next podcast, we're talking slow and steady wins the race. So the one after we will do, definitely. Thank you, Andrea. But what you can do, and I used to do this if I was doing, oh my gosh, my brain is totally fried. If I was doing a talk to a group of people that's maybe not, it wouldn't be me teaching, so I'm used to the teaching in this environment here. So if I maybe went to a school, or I did a talk in a networking event, or whatever it would be, motivational speech. Sometimes I just bounce on the spot, or we might just put out a little power move that way. And actually, it gets to a point where you don't need to do it, because it becomes quite an automatic trigger in your head. So you can condition yourself up. So if you're having to do presentations, it's maybe for the first time, my best advice to you, if you get nervous about that, is just get moving, bounce up and down a little bit. I do martial arts, so my power move is just a punch. Sometimes it annoys the person that's in the way, but don't stand in front of my fist when I'm doing my power move. My instructor used to just come and elbow us, but of course that was how we don't go hitting people. That's a joke, by the way. But yeah, and it would just, I might just go a little bit louder or whatever, and that just would lift my energy to go into. We've gone a little bit sidetracked here because we are talking about competition, but I think it's all relevant.
It is relevant because now we are talking about competing with yourself.
Yeah, definitely,
Right.
definitely.
So actually doing things that makes you a better person, you know, in life, in business, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Power postures that will impact the end result.
Oh, 100%.
Of whatever you're doing, you know, how you're feeling about yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you think you're going to lose, what's going to happen?
You're going to learn something from it, right?
No, if you think you're going to lose, what's going to happen?
Oh, no, obviously. Then you're actually limiting your chances for winning.
Yeah, definitely. Right? So I think that, and actually just sometimes, you know, listening to different athletes, I like the Mike Tyson. Have you listened to the Mike Tyson one?
No, I haven't.
I mean, obviously it's very aggressive. You know, that was his trainer.
So maybe that's why I didn't.
Yeah, but it's also very interesting in that he believed, like, well, I'll bring it back to Stephen, my instructor. And when he used to compete, he would put in it, he would change his mindset to think, well, how dare this person stand before me and think they can beat me, which may seem very arrogant and whatever. But the point is that he believed he was going to win. He'd already won before he turned up. Same with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson didn't win, you know, his fights in the ring. He won them way before.
Oh, yeah.
Psychologically out.
He was taking his spirit, you know, just
exactly. So
just staring at
I
them.
think there's a lot to be learned you know, learnt by that. Thank you, Andrea. All right, you have a great week too. I think there's a lot to be learnt by that, but again, without it detriment to someone else. So that's kind of what I was going to come on to next, is that when competition can be quite unhealthy, is that you're too much looking at other people. And I've seen it. I sometimes see it a lot in the martial arts world, I've got to say. That's why I really ease back, you know, from stuff like that, which, you know, obviously we're in a competitive state of mind. And people seem too concerned about maybe what another club is doing or another center, and it's this and it's that. And I think they sometimes get so caught up in that, end up running someone down. And for what? It's like, so I think that's when it can become unhealthy, and you're worrying about, and then it starts to defeat you in what you're doing. And actually what you're doing is great. So what's the problem?
Exactly.
And I think I've said martial arts, but it probably happens in a lot of, well, I know it happens in other businesses. I've seen it. I'm now in the beauty industry, right? I've seen that. It's like, you know, they're this, they're that. Well, there's two ways to get at the biggest building in town.
It's just like only one person can be the best. You know what I mean? And what is the best anyway? Trying your best will lead you to being the best, but do you have to be the best in competition to someone else? No,
but you know, well, put it this way: if I know someone's doing something, oh, that's great. I like what they're doing there. Let's see if I can tweak on there. How can? So there was something that came up in a martial arts business group. I have to refer to that because that's my main thing. And they were talking about how can people work together. And in the ideal world, let's say we're in Cheltenham, every martial arts center, fitness center would come and meet together on a monthly basis and talk about how can we all improve our service. Because if we focus on the competition being, you know, not with someone else, it's actually about, well, how can I give more back? We would all start providing more. I'm not saying we don't, but, you know, things would, you know, we can learn so much from each other. And it would be then, I think that's when it becomes a healthy competition. Do you know I don't know if it's just Cheltenham now, but Turf, and that's the hospitality sector. And they've been doing that a couple of years, I think. And when it came to the pandemic, I interviewed Philip Jordan, and he was talking about it. He said, you know, in the past, he wouldn't have, you know, it was maybe too much yourself. And now that they were helping each other. If staff members may have been off with COVID, they were sending, you know, sharing staff or ran out of these supplies. And I think that is when it becomes a much more healthy. You're all working together for the greater good. Because let's say at the end of the day, whatever your business sector is, if all the other ones close down around you, and I think even maybe I might have had that mindset once. You think, oh, that'd be great because I'd get everybody, but no way you could handle everybody. So it would actually be very bad for you. So you do need to have people around you doing a similar business, because you're not. there's not everyone you're going to want to work with either. We've got 2 hair salons on this street, and I see them always back and forth sharing stuff. And that to me is brilliant. You know, they're not trying to outdo each other. They're supporting each other because they obviously understand
because there's enough for everyone.
There's enough for everyone, and they need each other there. So, but it's how it comes down to that perception, I think, on how we see stuff, that Captain Hook is actually the hero of Peter Pan.
We had this conversation earlier. That was quite interesting, actually. So,
we can maybe share the Peter Pan theory later, but yeah.
So you're 100% right. You know, there's just another take on competition, isn't it?
Well,
I'm just wondering sometimes. Sorry for cutting you.
Sorry, no.
I'm just thinking. You know, okay, we have conclusions about the competition, the positive side of it, negative side of it. I'm sometimes thinking, why does it have to take, you know, like extreme circumstances for people, you know, just start competing in a healthy way? You know what I mean? So you just mentioned COVID.
Yeah.
And then, you know, people helping one another just to keep going, to keep running and helping and supporting. Do we have to experience, you know, just like extreme situations like COVID and lockdown, or can we create the healthy, you know, just approach the competition right here, right now?
That's how it should be, right? Because there's been a lot of emphasis as well. I might seem like on a sidetrack, but I'm not on, you know, be kind to people, right? And mental health. Sometimes I think it does take, unfortunately, a disaster for us to wake up a little bit to what's going on around us. So there are a lot of plus sides, I think, to the whole pandemic that maybe, but it became with mixed emotions because there was fear, anger, hate, but then there's also a lot of coming together. And
this is exactly what I was leading to, because sometimes when we focus on a competition in forms of I, everything is I against everyone else. But when you go into competition and think in terms of we, it's not about you anymore. It's about others.
Exactly. No, it is. So I'll just say about, I don't really say much. So when we came out of flipping out, what year are we in? Just whatever.
2022.
So 2020, there was a local club, and we have like big punch bags here. They'd order a load and they hadn't come through. So offered a couple of spare ones for them. And that for me, you know, I felt good doing that. But I would have hated to see any other place like fall under because of it. What's to be won from that, really?
Nothing.
Exactly.
You might be, you know, winner for a second.
Yeah.
Right? But then in the long run, you're not gonna win anything.
No, definitely.
Right? Yeah. So what you did, you know, by lending them some equipment, you helped them out. You felt good about helping them out, right? And you also created some more.
They're also good people.
Well, this is what I was
they're
leading
really
to,
good
you know.
people.
You are actually gaining new friends who knows, maybe at some point you're gonna need someone, you know, to help you out, and they maybe be there for you.
Yeah, maybe not. That's not what you do.
I know. But the thing is, it's just this is about the energy. You might be sending this positive energy to the person who you lended the bags, but that positive energy will come back to you, you know, from different directions, right?
Yeah.
Whatever goes out comes back, right?
Yeah.
So
it's just how it is, really. I just think that's how I feel about it. And obviously you could argue they're competitors, but
hi, Andrea. We have Andrea and Andrea.
One Andrea out and one in. Thank you.
Oh, you might be loving the beginning. There was like lots of we described. Is it still in the background?
No, don't start on that again. Oh my gosh. If you are listening on the podcast, please drop us a 5-star review. Obviously, comment, share your thoughts about. We are talking about healthy, well, the pros and cons of competition and competition with ourselves, and you know, and I think, you know, is competition at work good? I think that can be used as an advantage sometimes, but it's when it gets detriment to, you know, maybe what someone else is doing. I think that's where it becomes a bit of a danger. And if you're finding it starting to, you don't feel good enough or worthy, but I guess, you know, yourself, like maybe from competing, so you competed kickboxing, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, right?
And karate.
You did karate?
I did.
Oh, well, that's new. I thought you was a kung fu.
Karate Shotokan back home. Yeah.
It all comes out now.
Yeah.
That's very similar to what other, anyway, this isn't a martial arts channel. But when you were up against someone who's better and you, it's quite tough, isn't it?
It is tough, but again, just as we mentioned that earlier, it's about the mindset.
Yeah.
The type of way of thinking you're bringing with you to the mat or wherever,
Yeah.
you're competing. And that was the massive difference for me when I was competing early days and when I was competing, later days. It's just, it wasn't about me anymore.
Yeah.
It was about the greater good, what I was getting out of it, And I know that my last competitions, it's just something what adds to my business.
Yeah.
And to what I offer.
Yeah.
It wasn't about me so much. It was about fun. I was having fun,
There's something dripping behind me.
That was my uncle.
Oh, right.
I thought I can't be ninja anymore. So.
So I forgot what I was going to say, but I'm going to go on to something different anyway. It's similar. So like in business, so with my mentorships that I'm taking, masterminds, I quite like being around people. Oh, that was it. Would you rather compete against someone that's better than you, that's more experienced, or someone that's just starting out or around the same level?
Let me think about it for a second. I'm just putting myself in a situation.
Don't go to a karate class with Ange on your first class because she will mess you up. Joking.
Hold on. This is the funny thing. I love training and competing with people who are better than me because it makes me think.
Yeah.
It makes me try my best. Right?
Ah, see, now you made me think now. Yeah.
Yeah, it really gets the best out of me. It really makes my brain work because physical competition is not only about the skills and the moves you've learned in the class, it's about how you apply them. And they are testing your ability to apply those tools, right? Whether you're competing in sports or something different.
Even if it's in business, right? You're trying to better yourself and grow in business.
And from those you learn. They make you think.
Yeah.
So I do like competing with those who are better than me because even though I'm losing, I'm still winning.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Right? And when I compete with someone who is, let's say, on the same level or worse than me, I think in terms, okay, so I might be better this time than you.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'm creating an environment for you to step up.
But they keep you on your toes.
Of course they do.
Because like you wouldn't, in theory, you wouldn't really want to lose that. But if I switch it around now to like normal business growth or anything else, then it's actually the same thing. So I'm on a few different new programs, right? So some I'm, I'd say, novice, beginner, others a bit more advanced, maybe. And I would say it's nice being a new kid in the school and looking up to people that have, done the things that I'm now working towards. So that's healthy competition. And then also maybe what I've found as well, where I say I'm doing the business acquisition. So there's some bit that's now a bit new to them. And then and actually by talking to them about it. So let's say it was martial arts. If like a red belt might teach a white, shouldn't do, but let's say they're teaching the white belt. By them teaching, they're learning. So it's good to have that mix, right? Because the beginner keeps you on your toes a little bit. And actually, as me as a teacher and an instructor or coach, whatever, I always want someone to be better than me, because that's the end outcome, right? Isn't it? Well, it is for me anyway. But obviously I got to keep myself growing. So
this is what I was going to say. You're still in the process of growth. It's not like you're going to stop, right? But I always love, and it's stuck in my mind, and you always will stay there. What Eileen said, student is the teacher and teacher is the student.
Yeah.
You never stop growing.
Yeah,
okay,
definitely.
so you still keep moving forward and keep moving forward, still keep moving forward, and you never know what your student gonna come up with. Their ideas and conclusions might be like, wow. Right?
Yeah, definitely. Do you know what? Kids have said something in class before, and I'm like, wow, that's quite profound.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Yeah.
So you're constantly learning, and you are actually coming to in this kind of environment with this mindset that I know everything the best. then you're not growing anymore.
No, definitely.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, dedefinitely.
So,
Definitely. Yeah, it's interesting.
mm,
Yeah, we've kind of gone all switch. So what do we think? What do we think? Where, drop in, where's competition been good for you? And how did it, and how did it help you having that, or how do you compete with yourself to, to grow basically?
do you beat up on yourself when you don't get the results you were aiming for?
If not, why not? No, don't.
Have you ever changed the way you're looking at competition? For example, like myself, just I used to attach my own worth to the outcome of the competition, whereas now it's different. Did you experience something similar? If you did, please share that with us. I'm gonna be really, 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 really pleased to read your comments, and anyone else who can read those comments, they will appreciate you sharing your thoughts.
Let's have a competition who can come up with the best comment.
Oh, yeah.
How
Hashtag
mean.
Natter.
Yeah.
Which is the man in the window. That's going to be hashtag man in the window.
Poor man in the window. He's probably watching that now.
If you only join now, you will have to go back to the beginning of this episode to understand.
Do not do it.
What? Hashtag man in the window. That's going to be actually quite funny. Sorry, I've got weird.
Well, you made my day.
Oh, did it really?
Why not?
Okay. So this is how you decided to take it. But this minute did make my day. I'll tell you that.
Oh my God. Well, I've come to an end of my thought process for today. I've achieved my competitive edge for today. I need to reserve some energy. I got sign language tonight. It's my last sign language class.
So you're completely ready for it.
For level one. Then I got a test in 2 weeks. So yeah.
There is no verbal form of expression left for you, so you have to communicate with the sign language now.
I think I've used all my decisions up for today. I've only got 7. I'm pretty certain I've made 52 decisions already this morning, and I've got some more to make. So I'm gonna have to go and recharge.
Yes.
Sorry, people, but we're done. What are we talking about next week? Slow and steady wins the race.
Exactly that. It's going to be episode number 24. So just you have to join us, interact with us in our conversation, share with us your golden thoughts and your conclusions and your opinions, which we really appreciate. So please join us. Drop us 5 stars.
Yeah, definitely 5 stars.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Just before we go, Andrew, I just mentioned something about encouraging children. I think giving health encouragement to children, you're right, it's so important. And just looking for the good in stuff basically, and that works really well. My boys, if I see they're good at something, I'll encourage it. My eldest he's into making YouTube videos, and it wasn't ideal at the time because it's a bit young for YouTube, but we need to hone in on this. And I think when and I haven't taught kids as well for 15 whatever odd years it is. I find when you find the thing that they're good at and you encourage it, then what will happen is they will get good at the other stuff as well. It becomes like a natural thing. So where Murphy, he likes go out and find computer program to make. By encouraging him on that, it was easier then to encourage him to do some of the other stuff that he may not have enjoyed. And then it becomes like a natural decision. So yeah, my youngest is they're all pretty smart. My boys, I don't know, didn't get it from me, so must have got it from their mum, 100%. But yeah, he's good at football. He likes football. I think when you encourage the things that they enjoy, you will see results in other places, guarantee it. And even teaching kids here, they may not be good at a sidekick, but their punch might be pretty cool. Or so it's that was amazing. I've seen it with the football coach as well. They've really, I think coaching has really evolved a lot over the last
So it's
10,
really
15 years.
Transferring this belief in doing one thing good into another thing.
Yeah, definitely. We got to, and it's obviously with that, it's learning how to correct.
Yeah.
Because you can't just let someone carry on with doing something wrong as such, or that's incorrect or whatever. But so it's fine. It's a is an important skill set. But there you go, top tip with children, even with adults, really. Look for the good and, you know, praise it, celebrate it, and the rest will follow. There we go. Mic drop. So, see, I thought I was done.
As usual.
All right.
Last word.
We will
But that's
see
it.
you next week. We're going to wear exactly the same clothes. But
Because we decided to be exactly the same.
please tune in. It's going to be live. It's pre-recorded next week, but it will be out live at 11 a.m. So please drop in some comments on that. We will see you then. Adios, amigos, and ciao for now. Peace and love.
Bye. Have a great week.